All right, everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Stream Roulette.
This week we watched Mum, Blindspot, and Chicago Med, and we thoroughly enjoyed all three of these shows, right, Daniel?
Oh, did we? I think we'll find that out after this little bit of intro music. All right, welcome back to episode 2 of Stream Roulette. Daniel Townsend, I'm here with Steph Broadbridge. How are you, Steph?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know how I feel about doing those intros, but if you don't want to do them.
I think you're nailing it.
Really?
I mean, I need you to believe that, yeah.
Yeah. Because you just said, I don't like doing intros.
I don't like doing
I don't like
intros.
doing them either.
I like being brought up, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess one of them has to do them.
Yeah.
So here we are, week 2, episode 2. What shows did we get kicked at this time? Blindspot, Mum.
And Chicago Med.
And how was your week? How was it for you?
I mean, it was, it's starting to build up and it's week 2.
That's only the second week, yeah.
Yeah. And I just like, there's just so many bad shows now in my brain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I take it you didn't enjoy some of this week's or all of this week's?
I mean, yeah, they were. It's so much.
Well, let's go in order then. So what do you think of Blindspot?
Blindspot?
Yeah.
You mean the Lexus commercial?
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? How many episodes did you watch?
I watched 3.
Yeah, right.
And I'm keen to buy a Lexus. That's what I got out of that
That's what you
show.
got out of it.
Yeah.
I can't believe they managed to stretch that. Oh, what's the premise of it?
Okay, I'll just read what it says. So if you haven't seen Blindspot, well, I mean, this is not what it says. This is just what I'm saying. It's basically like the Bourne Identity, but it's a chick. It's like Jason, isn't it? It's like the Bourne memory loss thing.
Yeah, so some...
Cross, like prison break tattoos.
Yeah.
So basically...
She gets dumped in a bag in Times Square or something.
Jane Doe's found naked in Times Square with her memory erased and her body covered in tattoos. And then an FBI team has to solve cases and decrypt what her tattoos mean.
Well, that's what I found weird about it, because they stretch it out for 5 seasons, right? So it's either... But they seem to have a different case every episode.
Yeah.
That magically ties into
Yeah.
her. And
Yeah.
I just thought it was fascinating that she just had that dude's name, the FBI agent that's assigned to her case, his name just tattooed right in the middle of her back there.
Yeah.
Like it's bang.
Yeah, what I found
I
fascinating...
really struggled with that one.
Oh, it was unwatchable.
Yeah.
What I loved about it was that they were like, we'll get a really strong woman in this one. And by strong, they meant she can punch and kick
Oh, totally.
and use guns. But she still needed the male FBI agent to rescue her. I'm like, that's so, thank you, men that probably wrote that show.
So where does it sit on the, what's that test? The
Bechdel test?
Yeah, where does it sit on that? Does she have any conversations? Oh, she would have conversations that aren't about men with the head of the FBI. Does she talk to her?
I don't think they speak.
Oh, yeah, it's just her and the...
Yeah.
And she's a Navy SEAL too.
Yeah, I don't think she has any opinion. She just, like, I don't know how they managed to make her a victim, but they did. It was incredible.
She's got a bloody... She kicks some ass though, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. But what's important is she doesn't think for herself. So that was one of the main plots that I got.
Oh, as soon as it started, I was like, I know I'm not going to like this one.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it started.
Yeah.
It was like, oh. And then when I saw it went for 5 seasons, it's like, how the hell did they stretch this out?
Yeah, well, I went on a little bit of like a Reddit search.
Oh, you even went down that rabbit hole.
When I watch something that I think's terrible, I'm like, why do people like it? So
Yeah.
then I go on Reddit and I'm like, Blindspot is a really good show. And then I find people loved it.
Really?
They
So that's just what you
loved it.
typed in?
Yeah, they thought it was like an incredible plot. They were so excited to see what happened next.
Really?
Yeah, they thought the performances were excellent.
Do you think that could be something to do with just the brainlessness and the action though? Like, was it men or women saying this?
It was a woman who was watching it with her husband.
Yeah.
It was just like young people, probably.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. But people liked it.
See, the thing that gets me, like with shows, and I've thought this before, like, what's that suspension of belief or whatever it is? Like that you can get away with once?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it is? Or disbelief? Or,
I don't know, but I know what you mean.
It's something that's like obviously not true,
Yeah.
but like, or so far-fetched that it doesn't seem, but you can get away with one
Yeah.
in something. But for me, it feels like that whole show was based on a premise that was So if you've already got to suspend it there, it's a bit, like, come on, getting dumped in a bag on Times Square. Like, fair enough if it was in the middle of the Rocky Mountains on a walking trail in the middle of winter, no one's going to see it. But like somewhere that busy.
Yeah. I mean, the plot didn't offend me too much.
Oh, it's not it's just
No, I just meant like I didn't find the plot, I mean, all plots are stupid, but I didn't find that plot that stupid. But I don't know why they bothered making it into dialogue, because the dialogue was just...
to feed the action.
Yeah. No one had any personality or anything to say. It was just like, we're going to walk over here now because so-and-so solved the case. Let's go a walk. Okay, I'm going to drive my Lexus. They literally say, I'm going to drive the Lexus.
I must have zoned out in that episode because I watched a few as well.
And then there's a glamour shot of a Lexus. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, right. Because I started it after last week's.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as we recorded, I went home and then it got to last night and I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot that one was about.
Yeah.
And I thought I better dip in, and I just had another 2 episodes on and I was just, oh my God.
Yeah.
But for me, it was okay because I'm like the show that I'm currently watching with my girlfriend, she was out. And I have nothing else on the go that I'm watching on my own. Like, I just ripped through Seinfeld recently, like just before gigs and whatever when she was out.
That's nice. I need something like that.
Yeah,
I need
but
a palate cleanser before I go to bed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think that's where we're going here with this thing. Like, we seem to be watching them at different times. You're watching them before bed.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them before a gig or so I can still come home and have my soft light TV as I fall asleep.
No, I'm going to bed angry.
Really?
I'm going to bed furious.
Really?
Yeah.
What, every day?
It's like the opposite of meditation.
Just getting high strung.
Just watching something I hate that makes me feel dumber and makes me concerned for society. And then I'm like, all right, well, off to sleep then.
That's funny, though. Just have a drink or something.
Oh, yeah.
Have a glass of wine. I can't. But there was something. What you were saying about progressing the plot. Have you seen the movie Breakdance?
I haven't seen Breakdance. Is it one of those we have to dance to save the school kind of shows? Or
Well, the first one was like, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, I was in my early 20s and it was just like, it's, what's the guys' names? Like, they were known like breakdancers, like in the States. And
I didn't know there were any known breakdancers.
Oh, this is back in the era of B-boys and like the 80s and 90s. And the first one was, like, it was just fun, and then at the time we got, we were like, oh, that was fun. And then we saw there was a sequel and it's called Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. And we hired that on, like, this is how long ago I'm talking about, hiring and VHS.
Yeah.
So we've hired that and got that home. And that was another thing. Every time, like, the story stalled, they'd just have a dance-off. It's like, fuck, this thing needs to progress. Oh, there's that other group that they're arguing with. They better have a dance-off to solve, and then it's just this massive production. And then they kind of go on. So I didn't enjoy that one as much. But that's something that's always stood out to me as something they did to just, we don't know where this is going. Oh, we'll just make them dance.
Yeah, it's worrying when as a child you can see that.
Yeah, I wasn't a child.
Oh, okay.
I was in my early 20s.
All right.
But yeah, it was pretty pretty bad. So nothing like that's ever happened to you then? Like, you can't relate to that show, waking up in a bag?
I can't relate to waking up or breakdancing, but no, I can't. I have a tattoo, but it doesn't need decoding.
Yeah, and it's not like, yeah.
And I remember getting it. And but I don't really like the show, and I didn't relate to any of the characters. I don't care how good looking they were. I wasn't interested. Although the cars were good.
Well, you seem to have a thing for Lexuses now.
I do. I've been brainwashed in my sleep.
Are they thanked at the end?
I don't know. I didn't check.
I'm sure they would be, because they showed like on the, what is it, supplied by whoever. Like it always says whatever, not promotional, whatever material supplied by.
Yeah.
Because I noticed the Mindy Project is doing, they're big with, I think it's Microsoft.
Oh.
Or a lot of the other ones, it's always Apple.
Yeah, but I've been watching shows and then they don't usually do it that early. So like usually like season 3 or 4, once it's established, all of a sudden there's a scene where you have to know the features of a car.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? What made you think that I'd just not noticed that? Use the voice animated system on the new. You're like, sorry, no.
That was the line of dialogue.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
I must have zoned out on that.
It's literally like, oh yeah, we'll use the parking feature, and it's like, like they just try to make it part of the show. Like we're not going to notice.
Do you remember the first time that was ever done, or you noticed that
No.
in a TV show?
No.
Like when they did that promotional product placement, or I know there was it The Simpsons or something where they did an
might have
episode
been.
in a. Maybe, I don't know what. There was something they had an episode in like a. But they took the piss out of what they were doing.
Yeah, right.
You know, like it was a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't even mind a blatant one. It's the trying to sneak it in
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm not going to notice ones that really offend me. Because, like, I quite like this show and now I'm mad at you because I feel manipulated.
But then, would you sit here and talk about how much you love like a Shure microphone or something, or like something that you got given for free for doing this?
Yeah, but I would feel bad about it.
So you'd still do it, you just wouldn't feel good about
Yeah.
it. Fair enough.
I just want them to feel shitty. I'm not saying they can't. They can do whatever they want. Just feel bad about it.
Because that's when it gets hard. Like, it's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, but you have to do this for us. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll give you this much money, but, you know, you have to endorse.
I mean, I'll do a lot of things for money. I'll do a lot of things for no money.
Well, we are,
I just do a lot of things,
we
you
are
know?
comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that one really, like,
I got through 3 episodes and
yeah,
that was
I did
work.
3.5.
Yeah.
Like, I'd done 1.5, and then last night I did another 2 kind of thing, because I thought I need to get in more, and I thought, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was recommended
Yeah.
makes it even...
Yeah, that's the part. Like, I don't know how the algorithm works, but from the 6 shows that we've been recommended so far,
Yeah.
it feels like they assume your IQ is 80 and then build on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, why don't you do it the other way around? Like, assume we're really smart and then slowly, like,
Dumb us
remove
down.
good shows. Like,
Yeah.
we should end up at Mum. We shouldn't start at Mum.
So you didn't like Mum?
Not really.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that one.
I thought some of the jokes were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? No, I look, for me, it was just like it was it's formulaic, yes.
Of course.
It's massively formulaic, and it's done by the guy that did
Chuck Lorre.
yeah, he's did How I Met Your Mother and The Big Bang Theory and Dahmer and Greg, and
Did he do How I Met Your Mother?
yeah.
Oh,
I
right.
looked him up because I know
yeah.
the name, and it's like, all right, what else
Young
has he done?
Sheldon. Yeah, he did a bunch.
Yeah, look, it's very formulaic, but like I did laugh, and like I love like 3 Trainwreck Women. That's like, what a great show.
I'll just in case anyone hasn't watched. I mean, I assume everybody's seen it, but just in case, it's about it's based around a woman, Bonnie, who's played by Anna Faris.
Yeah.
And she's a recovering alcoholic, and then she's got her mum, who's also a recovering alcoholic, and her daughter, who's 16 and pregnant.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's the story. And I had to double check that it was written by women because there were a lot of points in it where it just felt like men had written.
Well,
these
I
females.
did notice there were a few problematic, like
Yeah.
not problematic, but like the chef.
Yeah.
Some of his lines and whatnot.
Yeah,
It's-
like where
it's
the
a bit-
punchline is that he swings both ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like 2015, I think. Like,
Yeah, right.
you
Okay.
know, yeah, we didn't.
But yeah,
care
there were a
about
few
that
things,
then.
but it definitely has the rhythm of a comedy compared to some of the newer, like I mentioned the Mindy Project before, which is,
Yeah.
I think is like entertaining.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have that laugh per minute
No.
attempt, but it also doesn't have a laugh track.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that
It's
kind
got
of
a
stuff.
laugh track. I feel like this is one of the latest versions of a laugh track show as well.
Oh, yeah, it'd have to be if it was
it'd be
released.
right at the end of where that was kind of how you did it.
Yeah. I mean, I still don't mind it. Like, it's not that here's where you laugh, but it's just like,
You get used to it, don't you?
oh, so quickly.
Initially, it's like, this is really grating. And then you're like, yep, I'm comforted by the laughs of others.
There was one joke that really made me laugh in it when she was, I can't even remember what set it off, but she was in the restaurant talking to a boss, and he asked her what's wrong or something, and she's like, oh, this is happening and this is happening, and I'm sleeping with my boss who won't leave his wife, and I just want to run away with a bottle of this, but I can't because my name's Christy and I'm an alcoholic. And then this waiter walks past and goes, hola, Christy. I laughed so hard at that. Like, it was just like, because a lot of people might write something like that and not put in the,
Yeah.
you know, the Alcoholics Anonymous reference, but just the fact that it was just that. It's
there's-
very old school, like Fresh
There's
Prince of
some
Bel-Air.
really good jokes, and they get you. The setups are beautiful, and the delivery is great.
Yeah, that
It's
was.
delivered really well. Like, it's. But I didn't like the idea of the show. But the writing was excellent.
What idea of the show didn't you like?
Well, I just hate the premise of like having these real subjects like alcoholism, teen pregnancy, women struggling to live together, and having all these things, and then making it a sitcom. Like, it just, to me, that's like the Wiggles singing a good piece of music. You know?
Yeah, right.
It's like, why are we picking something that actually has substance and deliberately making it like candy coated and...
See, I didn't even look at that. Like, obviously, I know they're handling serious subjects.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh.
Not that it needs to be... I mean, there's different ways to be funny. You know, like Succession's funny.
Yeah.
You know, like...
So what, you think it'd be more suited to a drama?
Not a drama. Just like... But Succession's not a drama.
A dramedy, then?
I don't know. Just make the humour come from the reality of it rather than...
Just cheap, like smaller sides
cheap
after it.
Stereotypes. I don't feel like it helped. It didn't make me warm to people that have an alcohol problem. It made fun of them.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I saw that.
And being pregnant and menopause and...
But that was more the mum, like the grandmother.
Yeah.
That's more Bonnie than Christy.
Christy and Bonnie, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Bonnie's
really...
Alice and Jenny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
So good.
See, maybe that's what I like. Because, like, honestly, this is something that I could see myself, like, I'll continue on with it.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
How far did you get with it, though?
Oh, like, I'm into, like, probably halfway through season 1.
Okay. I watched 21 episodes.
Oh, so you did a full season?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Because I wanted to see... Because I liked the writing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if it got better with the... I thought maybe once they developed the characters, they could move away from the...
See, I thought the
stereotypes.
actors came out really fully formed.
They did, but that's what I was saying. So once they've done that, maybe they could not be so stereotyped with the thing.
Yeah, right. I didn't realise Badger was in it from Breaking Bad.
Who's that?
The dad, like the dad of...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know.
He plays that part. I mean, he's playing exactly the same part, just a druggo.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny.
He's very good at it.
He is.
I really wanted to like it.
I just know him as Brandon Mayhew.
Is that his character?
No, that's his name in Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay. I don't know all the characters in Breaking Bad.
Like, oh, you haven't seen it?
I've seen some of it.
Yeah, right. Maybe we should chuck that one on the list.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just kidding. We don't choose.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, that's something I know we said the rules of the podcast last week, but I think that's something that I'll just reiterate that. So the only thing we can't do with this podcast is watch a show that we'd want to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're basically set.
Or that we've already seen.
Yeah, or that we've seen.
Yeah.
So if one of them comes up, we have to hit the play something button again.
Yeah, and it hasn't yet.
No, it hasn't. Oh, no, sorry. Brooklyn Nine-Nine did come up.
Okay.
But I've seen all of that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
So have you seen the final season?
Yeah.
With the 8th one?
Oh, maybe not.
Where it ends?
I feel like I have.
It's not on a streaming service. I had to watch it on SBS on demand with ads.
Oh.
Like it came out towards the end of last year, like last couple of months of the last year, I think.
Is it on American Netflix?
No. Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't know. I stopped with the VPN thing ages ago when Netflix blocked it. Can you do it again?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, well. Yeah, right. Interesting. I thought you might like that one.
Mum?
Mum, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just... The fact that... yeah, I did, but I didn't like... I didn't like how it's being advertised.
Yeah, right.
Because if it was just like, this is a fun sitcom, it's light and bubbly and crazy, I would have been like, cool.
But would you rather it with a fucking lesson at the end?
No, but I don't want them to get credit for tackling real issues.
Well, are they?
Yes, if you read the articles about it, that's what they're basically saying. Like, we're so proud to work on this show and actually speak about real issues with women.
The actors are saying it?
The
or
writers,
the
creators are all taking credit.
Well, there's a massive level of delusion in comedy with people doing pseudo-intellectual stuff. Like, it's like, pick a rape joke. Anyone says rape and they think they've got something important to say, and fucking 9 times out of 10 is something horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, you can't have it both ways. You can have a sitcom that appeals to everyone, or you can have something to say. You can't have both.
Yeah, that's true. Or is it?
And they're trying to be both, and I didn't like it.
But it's still seeming like it's 8 seasons. It's had a good run. It's,
Yeah. Yeah, the jokes are really good. Not all of them. A lot of them are really good.
Well, it's good that you can still say something good about it, even though you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive. So you've never been in a situation like that? You've never been pregnant and your mum wanted to move in with you?
Do we need to talk about Do you know what? If I had, and I'm not saying I had, but if I had, I wouldn't write a fucking sitcom about it.
Really?
No.
Yeah, right. Interesting. Because I've talked about that stuff on stage.
I would talk about it on stage, but I wouldn't put puns in it and
Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah.
and have a bisexual chef involved in any part of it.
So do you think you can handle things like abortion and like teen pregnancy and alcoholism in a comedy way
Yeah.
and say something and still have it funny?
Yeah.
But it's not going to appeal to everyone.
No, it won't.
Yeah. Like some people will just be like,
But
what do you
why
mean?"
should those subjects appeal to everyone?
Well, that's true. And then I guess like jokes about
Like
orange
people
juice.
that are, overprotective and oversensitive and are going to get offended don't deserve to hear real things.
I find those people are always super happy though.
They are. Yeah.
Ultra dumb.
Oh, man.
I sometimes feel like the happiest people are the dumbest.
They absolutely are.
It's like, how are you so happy?
They like everything.
Haven't you seen what
Everything's
you've
great.
been handed? Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I'm like, oh, wow. I'm doing better than they are, I think. And I struggle to smile sometimes. They're like a pig in mud, you know. They're just, oh, really? Happy with your lot. So, yeah, right.
Yeah,
So,
I wish I was the person that this Netflix algorithm thinks I am.
but is there an algorithm with, because you watched, or whatever it is, like that feature on there, like, so because you watch Chicago Med, we'll get thrown something like New Amsterdam.
Yeah. So
But, like, I don't know how this one works.
it'd be interesting if we could. I don't know how you'd find that out.
I think it just, look, on it, from what I can see so far, like, it seems to be things that are either in trending, new on Netflix,
Top 10 in your country.
Yeah, like, when I first had the idea of this, I was really hoping they'd throw us some shit. Like, but shit. Like, blatant shit. Like a bad reality or, you know, like just those things. Like I said last week, selling Sunset or
Yeah.
like
I
that
don't
stuff,
know.
but I don't think...
I think they've just hit the middle, and like Chuck Lorre and Dick Wolf is the middle. Which
Oh, because Dick Wolf did Chicago Med, didn't he? And he's a big
Law and
franchise
Order and
guy.
all-
Yeah.
So I think they sort of just throw
Well,
you in the middle, and then they try and work it out, which makes sense if it's an algorithm. I guess that's what you do. It's like if you're doing a Wordle, you like try to.
I've never
somewhere.
done Wordle.
Oh, okay.
Like, how does it work?
You just got to guess the word.
Like, yeah, I've seen, but I don't know what like the green things are that people upload on.
It's how many
like
letters you've guessed right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the more green, the better. Then I take it.
Yeah.
Did you see the New York Times bought it?
Really?
Yeah.
Far
And
out.
people were talking about how it might be ending up behind a paywall and all this kind of stuff. But because it was, then some web dude posted something, but because it was built on a web page, like it's just mirrored. There's already mirrors of it. Like it's going to be free forever because there's mirrors of it everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they still update because it's a web page, like not an application kind of thing. So even though, I mean, maybe that'll change with the New York Times or whatever, but it's still the version you're playing now will exist on the internet it's already on the web archives.
Yeah, I'm not really playing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were one of those people that... Remember when
One
those
of those people.
daily... No, one of the people
I'm a
that like
cryptic crossword girl.
put things on social media. Like, remember when Foursquare was around? It was always things that you could link to Twitter. And it was like, oh, Steph Broadbridge just checked into the Comedy Store. It was one of the location things.
Yeah,
They did the check-ins
right.
before... But it was one of those things that you could push through, and like Wordle just seems like one of those to me. Like all these
Yeah.
people are sharing it, and it's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I'm not though.
Like I don't care. Like message your friends
I
that you
don't care
play
either.
Wordle with, or that play Wordle as well. But
Yeah.
like sharing it with the whole world.
Yeah. I don't know. They
But
don't.
then maybe they need like a podcast thing for Wordles, and then people that are interested.
I reckon
in
one
them.
already exists.
No. But they're like that kind of platform. Like I was going to say, like
Oh, right.
you know what
right,
I mean? Because
right.
we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like it's important or whatever. But then people have to look for this and they'll listen to it because they want to, not because it's thrown on their timeline every day and they have to. You know? I really like the mute feature on social media.
Yeah. Me too.
You
I
know.
use it every festival, every comedy festival.
Oh, I just never unmute those hashtags.
What hashtags?
Like MICF, and all those other ones.
Oh, that's so smart.
Like I've never unmuted those hashtags from the first time I used
That is
Twitter at
so
the comedy
smart.
festival because every other tweet. But I turn off people's retweets.
Yeah.
Like I turn off so much stuff.
But they don't want, like the way I think about it is they don't want you to see it because it's not for you. Like if you're promoting your show.
No, of
like-
course. Yeah,
like
yeah, of
I'm
course.
mortified.
But then when that's all you're getting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I'm like, you don't want your peers to know that you're doing. Like, I want them on mute.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I
then
don't
all of
want
a sudden,
them to hear me go, it's such a good show. It's got real heart. And
But how can you even say that about your own show anyway?
well,
'Cause,
so
like,
that
let's be-
people come.
No, I know, but realistically, if we were all honest when we pitched a show, we'd be like, look, I put a lot of work into this show.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but comedy's subjective.
Yeah. But I've tried that and that doesn't sell
No, it
tickets.
doesn't. Honesty does. Like, yeah. Yeah.
And look, to be honest, I don't know what does. I haven't sold any
Well,
tickets.
that's true too. I don't.
But, you know, if you want to come to my show, I'm doing ones.
When are you doing a show?
26th of February
Where at?
as part of the Sydney Fringe
Oh, yeah, nice.
sideshow.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, all right.
It's called Hot Chick / Tired Mum.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And so, all right, I'm going to come and watch this and make sure you stay away from every single stereotype. After your criticism of mum, I'm going to come along and we're going to make notes.
I would never
Nope.
use a single stereotype in any of my work. I don't pretend I'm slutty or have a mental illness or hate my dad. I don't use any of them. That is the whole show. But aside from that, I don't. I will never promote a Lexus. That's what I can promise you.
So that's pretty rich that you'll sit there and criticise mum.
That's why I'm criticizing it because it's making me mad. You know, when like how you hate someone who's like you. That's
So
what I
it's
hate.
projection then.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just female writers doing what I already do, but better.
There we go. There it is.
How dare they be successful?
There. So you would take a writing gig on there then
100%.
and add that into the stereotype.
I would have more stereotypes, less punchlines.
Knock a few teeth out of the dad.
God.
I wanted to say that about 15 minutes ago. I was going to bring up one of your jokes and go, hang on. And then I thought, no, let's see if we can get there anyway. And you got there, so that's good.
I admit it.
I find it hard. I find when it comes to things that people have done like that, it is hard because I know most comics have a joke that they tell in their set, and it's not that they don't agree with what they're saying, because they wouldn't, or most people wouldn't say it if they didn't agree with it, but it is a fucking cheap trick.
Yeah.
And you die a little bit inside when you do it. Or it's a joke you don't really know why they laugh and it's not that funny, but for some reason it gets that. Like I've had jokes like that where it just does well and you're like, all right. And you just die a
Yeah.
little bit inside
Yeah.
as you're telling it. But
Yeah.
it's like, here you go. You like this one. You can't do them all for you, you know? Like some of my favourite things on stage get nothing.
I know.
And
What
it's
is
just
that?
for me, you know? And it's like, have I not worded this right? Is there something missing from it? Is it too fast? Like, is there, like, you know? But then who knows?
Thanks so much for listening to the episode, guys. We'd love to know what you think of the TV shows that we're reviewing, so you can hit us up on any of the social media platforms. It's Stream Roulette Podcast. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
And feel free to let us know what you think of our show too. Like, don't just hold back on the TV shows. And if you really like the show, we've also got a Patreon where we're putting out 2 bonus episodes a month. And it's in the same lane, but it's called Guilty Pleasures. So instead of letting them choose, Steph will choose a show that she loves secretly that I haven't seen, and vice versa. And we have to subject the other one to watch that. So if that seems like something you'd be into, check out the Patreon. That's just Stream Roulette over on the old Patreon website. And
Don't you have a podcast coming up?
I do, actually. I'm bringing mine back out. That's the Daniel Towns podcast. So thank you for letting me throw that in there. And also, if you are enjoying this Stream Roulette podcast with myself and Steph, please feel free to leave us a review on iTunes, because that's how these things grow and climb, and that's what we're here for. But anyway, this is enough of this. Let's get back to the episode, shall we?
Done.
So what did you think of Chicago Med then?
Okay, if I can be honest about Chicago Med,
Yeah.
because these kind of shows are like, I love them. Like, I'm obsessed.
What, medical dramas?
Not just medical, like any of the like legal, like cop shows. Like that's
Oh, right.
totally
Yeah, because I quite like them too. Yeah. Procedurals. Yeah.
But this one I watched with the screen on black.
Hang on, what do you mean? So you
Like,
just had the sound?
So I had the what do you call it? The brightness down
Yeah.
because there was too much blood and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I fucking hated it.
Did you?
I could not stand it. Like the first 20 minutes of it was just all medical stuff.
Yeah.
Where's the drama?
Yeah.
Like I felt like I'm watching it and it's like, all right, if I wanted to, like I could just go sit in an emergency room if I wanted to see like people running past me yelling out, oh, we need 20 miles of
You could have.
and all that.
And that's what they were showing us.
No, but I want the dramas. Like I want the interpersonal relationships between the doctors.
They have them. Some
No,
of them
I
are
know.
having sex.
I'm sure it comes, but it didn't grab me initially because of the. And also, when something launches as a 3 series in one that all cross over,
Yeah. Yeah.
like when he first did that with NYP, no, fucking Law and Order
Law
or
and
whatever
Order,
it
yeah.
was, whatever it was. It's like, oh, okay, you know, there is a special victims unit, and there is like an. But
There's
now
something
it's,
for everyone. Maybe this isn't the Chicago for you. You know,
well, I told you
'Cause
last
there's
week I tried
Chicago
Fire.
Fire.
I tried that one, and that's just fucking beefcake.
there's Chicago
PD.
PD and there's Chicago. There's another one about lawyers as well.
Why didn't they just call Chicago PD Chirac?
Basically, if you call 911,
Come on, Chirac.
What is it?
Chirac.
What's Chirac?
Well, that's what they call Chicago Chi-Town
I don't know.
and Iraq. It's because like.
Sorry, that's funny, and I'm just an idiot.
Oh no, it's not me. It's a hip hop thing. It's because the homicide rate was so high.
Oh.
Yeah. It was like one of the highest, or maybe the highest when that came out, and it was big. So
Yeah.
that's what people would call it.
Chi-Town.
No, Chirac.
Chirac.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it was like a war zone. Like they had I don't know if it was there, but there was somewhere. It was like, no, it was 100 days, 100 nights. And it's just like people going out. Like, same as I got a mate who's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Like I met him working on a cruise ship. He was the tech and he's like a music producer and all that kind of stuff. And he was telling me like summer, like people just get shot.
Yeah.
Like it's just a summer thing, like all of a sudden.
There were a lot of gunshots in this show.
Yeah.
And not a lot of context required. It was just like, yeah, we've got 8 or 9 gunshots. Anyway, let's get to the story.
See, I don't think I've actually ever enjoyed a medical drama. The only one I've watched multiple episodes of was that House one.
Yep.
And I was in a real hypochondria thing back then, and everything was like, oh, that happens to me. Maybe I've got this really obscure fucking disease that he's talking about. You know what I mean? And it was entertaining, but I never really continued on. And like New Amsterdams and all those, I never really.
Nuance. Oh, yeah.
I never really.
What about
vibed with them? I like the law ones and the cop ones.
about Scrubs?
No,
Hated it?
I never watched it.
Really?
Yeah, no, I never watched it. I know that one was very popular though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was the closest I've been to a
It
medical.
was like the mum of like
Yeah, right.
medical shows.
The closest I've got to a medical show would be the Mindy Project, but that's a comedy.
I think Scrubs was.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I mean, some seasons were comedy and others were just
On.
trash.
So you really like this one?
I didn't really like it. I really buy into that formula.
Because we had a gig. I'll be 100. Just full disclosure here, we did have a gig together last night, and I said to Steph about the recording. I said, "Don't tell me, and we'll save it for tomorrow. But how did you feel about this week's 3?" And you said you absolutely hated 2 of them. And I honestly thought the mum would be the one you liked.
Yeah,
And I was like,
right.
oh, so that's why I made that comment. And I said, oh, and you thought one of them was pretty funny then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought, all right, we'll both. And then you started tearing into that one, and I was like, whoa. What is going on here?
Man. Yeah, it was all right. I didn't hate it.
Can I
Chicago
say
Man.
I did.
I loved what's his name? Oliver, the guy that plays the psychiatrist, Oliver Platt
in
Chicago Man.
oh fuck, I don't know.
No,
I like it's like
the one that's not hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's really good. I loved him in it.
Yeah, he was a good character.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably still is if it's still going.
I don't know.
When did that show come out?
I don't know how to check. Oh, here we go. 2015.
Okay, so it's pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I also, when I said I have been, because I'm not watching anything on my own, and after your passionate stance on Emily in Paris,
Yeah.
I continued on with that.
Yeah.
And I see what you mean now. Yeah. I definitely see what you mean. And maybe you put it in my head a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
No, just to look for it. But it's there like I would have seen it.
Yeah, if there's a TV show you like, I can ruin it.
But that's
It's a gift.
But how is this young person like just solving all these problems and
with the old dumb people that are too stubborn to change because
Yeah.
old people don't have good ideas because what would they know? They're old and stupid.
I did think it was funny though when she slept with a young dude, like unknowingly.
Yeah.
You know. But then the mum's line of questioning was a bit weird, kind of thing. So I think I'm near the end of the first season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna. I'll keep going with it till I find another one of these that I could just, you know.
Yeah, right. So you wouldn't watch Mum instead? Or you watch both?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing actually.
Yeah.
But then that's something Amanda's watching too. So like, if she's at work, I can't.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like I'd already started that one.
Yeah.
Like I watched the pilot on my own, and then
Okay.
she's like, "Oh yeah, I'd give that a go." And then it came up on this, and it's like, "All right, well I better wait then." And I just waited, and then we started watching it together. It's just one of those easy shows, you know.
Yeah.
But then that said, Brooklyn Nine-Nine did talk about serious, not every issue, not every episode, but they had some serious things in there.
Yeah.
You know, like the police brutality and like Terry getting targeted for being a black man by a cop. And they had the sexual assault episode.
Yeah, but that wasn't the premise of the show.
No, it was just something in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, of course. Yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
any issue with like comedies trying to tackle subjects. I just felt like this was the whole premise of the show.
Yeah, I didn't.
These
I
are
just-
broken people and we're going to make fun of them.
Yeah, I didn't even. I just thought, oh, wow, this is fun. I like train wrecks. Let's go.
But like they have alcohol addictions, but they never talk about alcohol addiction.
That'd be a fucking depressing show though if they
Then
did.
don't use that as the premise.
Like honestly, like they'd just be sitting there shaking.
Yeah, but and then they had a guy who was detoxing from alcohol and it made him seem stoned. And I'm like, that's not what detoxing from alcohol looks like. Like he was like a clown.
What does detoxing from alcohol look like?
Well, like shaky and like don't you have to go to like the hospital and
Have you done it?
not officially.
Okay, well, how's this then? Like, here we go. This is on topic and off topic. But so the first lockdown,
Yeah.
like when COVID first came through, like I was having like a glass of wine a night with dinner.
Yep. Very healthy.
Yeah, and then lockdown started.
Yep.
And like all of a sudden that glass of wine got a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. Like it was 5. You
Yep,
know,
still
and then
5.
Walking the dog after a glass of wine, and you know, like all of it. Then it was half a bottle. Then it was a bottle, and within 6 months, I'd gotten to 3 or 4 bottles a day.
Oof.
Like, and it got to the point I had a conversation with someone this morning, and I woke up, I felt like absolute shit. I vomited in the sink, which was pretty much just red wine. Like it was just, there was no solid in it, but it was just like
Fuck.
and then I poured myself a glass of wine and had it with my scrambled eggs. And the shake stopped. Like I stopped shaking and I stopped feeling sick.
Yeah.
And I thought of a joke about drinking that didn't make me like it. Structurally, it has all the elements of a joke, but it didn't make me laugh. It made me sad.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I got to do something about this. And I spoke to my GP, and he referred me to the drug and alcohol place in Newtown. Mm-hmm. And I went there, and the doctor there that I saw, he just treated me like I was everyone else that was in there. And like, if I have to see someone like a psychiatrist or someone like
Yeah.
that, like I don't go out of my way, but no, actually I do. I don't go in like I'm walking my dog.
Yeah.
Like I don't go in with tracksuit pants with bloody muddy paw prints on them and a busted shirt that's going to get dirty. Like I'll put some jeans on and have a shave.
Yeah. Make a
And-
day of it.
No, well, I try and make myself look respectable.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially on that one on Missenden Road, I'm sure the one in the Cross is the same. But, like, it was just 20 minutes in the waiting room of people that were strung out, withdrawing from heroin
And you.
and meth,
Yeah.
like,
Fuck.
screaming at the nurses for their pills.
Oh my God.
You know, and then I went in there and the guy's like, all right, so how we do it is, like, because I didn't want to do inpatient.
Yeah.
Because I said to him, I said, man, this is purely physical. I do not have a mental dependence on alcohol. Like, I didn't drink from like 25 to 40.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't touch anything. I said, I know if I can get through the physical, I'll be fine with the mental.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do inpatient. And he's like, all right, so this is what we do. Every day you'll come here. It's a really aggressive taper. And on the first day, we'll give you 6 Valium, then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, mate, no offense. I said, that waiting room is such a trigger. I said, oh, you want me to drive here and fuck around with parking? Like I live 10 minutes down the road.
And then take 6 Valium?
I said, it's going to take me 30 minutes to get here. Then I have to sit in this waiting room, which in itself is a trigger.
Yeah.
I said, I've got 50 of them at home from my doctor. Like, I'm just going to do it on my own.
Yeah.
And I told my GP, and he's like, all right, well, check in with me if you're...
Stop breathing.
Yeah. But, like, the Valium dosage that they gave, like, once I'd... And honestly, I thought it would be about a week of intense pain and physical withdrawals. Honestly, I was on the floor for about a month. Like, I spoke to Fiona O'Loughlin, I spoke to some other comics that have had those kind of problems. And I just even foolishly said, oh, yeah, look, I know once I get through that first week, like, that's when it switches from physical to mental. And and they're like, oh, it's longer than a week, this one.
Fuck. And that was in 6 months.
That was within 6 months. But also, look at the escalation, up to 4 bottles. And all day. Like, I'm talking from when I woke up to...
Yeah, but still, it's terrifying how quickly your body can
just
become dependent like that.
I didn't even know how much it was till I said it to someone in Brisbane, and they were like, fuck, that's like 28 drinks a day.
Jesus.
And I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause someone said it to me, oh, what kind of drinker were you? And I said, what do you mean? And they go, well, how did you do it? And I said, I don't know. I just, like, the glass was never empty. I'd start early, and they were like, oh, you're a topper.
A topper.
And I was about that, and they go, oh, you're just constantly topping your drink up. They're like, I was a binger. I'd be fine all day, but then come 6 o'clock, I'd just get absolutely shit-faced.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't even realise that there were genres of alcohol. Well, there is genres of alcoholism, isn't there? And wino is the only one that gets its fucking subcategory.
True.
Everyone else is just an alcoholic. I think that's because there's a level of, status with wine? You know, and like what you said, a glass of wine with dinner, very healthy, very nice. Like, it seems
especially
a little bit...
red wine.
Well, that's what it was, red wine.
I would never, like, someone drinking a glass of wine would never concern me to be like, you know, oh, I mean, maybe with their eggs for breakfast, but...
But even what it does to your teeth and your mouth, and like, it gets to the point, if you drink it that much, you can't get rid of it.
Oh, the stains?
Like, even on your tongue.
Yeah, right.
Like, you'd have like a blueberry coloured tongue kind of thing. And then I'm in there with when I stopped drinking, it took me probably a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like brushing my tongue.
Yeah.
Like, trying to get it off. It was disgusting. It was a rough week, but I spent a month on the floor. Fuck. I couldn't hold my phone. And the first 3 days, I took 10 Valium.
10.
And it was like, I'd take 2 as soon as I woke up. And then an hour later, like, and the shakes hadn't stopped, I'd take another 2.
Yeah.
And then by lunchtime, it'd be another 2. And then just, for the first, and then it got to the point I had to do, well, I didn't have to, but I did like 2 scripts of that. But then, like, it was just to...
See, that could have been a really fun episode of Mum.
No, honestly, like, I was literally, I'd wake up.
No, I'm kidding.
And then I would move to the office, and last summer was really fucking hot. So the aircon was on, and I had a blanket on the floor. Jesus. And I was just sitting up on the wall near the floor because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't type on my computer. Yeah. I couldn't hold my phone. I couldn't even hold a controller to play a video game. And you know what the worst thing about it all was? Like, once I'd done it and nipped it in the bud, and I was like, all right. Like, I did have a small relapse. Yeah. Like, that went for like maybe a fortnight. And then I had to go and when I stopped that again, I had the shakes again. Yeah. And what was weird was the first drink that I had, I got goosebumps. Like when I had that sip, and my body was like, oh, there it is. Oh, fuck. And I was like, all right, maybe there is a physical, like not mental, but it was physical, sorry. Yeah, it was definitely physical. And it's not a nice time. I got depression.
You can get addicted with that way, like with way less amounts than you're drinking.
Well, I ended up, like, after it cleared out of me, I went to the doctor and he was asking me how I was feeling. I said, mate, I have zero motivation to do anything. Yeah. I said, I'm finding it really hard to get out of bed. Like, I'd walk the dog, I'd get up, walk the dog. Yeah. And I was back in bed like by 10. Yeah. It started off with lunch, like an after lunch nap. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'll just have a nap. And then all of a sudden it was 10 o'clock and I'd lie in bed till 4 and I'd walk the dog again. And then I'd just go home and just like lie down and do nothing. And the doctor's like, yeah, it's because you're drinking, you're just getting all this serotonin
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
You know, because you've always got a light buzz on. And he goes, and then you stop, and he goes, that's not happening, and it's going to take your brain a while to. So I got bloody put on antidepressants. He's like, would you consider antidepressants? And I'd always been very.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And to their credit, like they got me out of bed. Like the ones that I'd been on in the past hadn't worked, and I think that's why wasn't.
Oh, sometimes you need the help.
But like it made a massive change. Like
Yeah.
it did get to the point where like I'm back to myself now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I mean, I was in bed with depression. I've seen that before, and I understood it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But then when it happened to me and I literally couldn't get out of bed,
Yeah.
it was like, oh wow, this is awful.
Yeah.
Like it was a good few months. And
Yeah.
then when the pills started kicking in, it was like, all right, you know, it gets a bit easier and a bit better. But I don't know how I could do something like I thought about talking it on stage, and maybe I will, but like I don't know how to approach it.
With the reality of what
But then
happened.
it's fucking depressing.
But it's not, because you're standing in front of us coming out of the other side. So it's always got a happy ending. Even when you're talking about the horrible dark shit, there's a happy ending.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you know what I mean? It's like we're reading it at your wake. Like, that would be depressing.
Yeah, that's true.
You're the author.
Well, at the moment, I just can't make it funny,
Yeah, well, that's fine too.
you know.
But, okay, maybe that's what it was about Mum. It felt like no one on the writing team had experienced alcohol addiction. Maybe that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that is it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Or teen pregnant. It didn't feel like they'd had, because there was just I don't mean you have to go deep into detail as you just did, but those elements were missing for me. You know, like maybe when she goes back on, you know, they had them drunk and then not drinking. It's like, it's more than that. Like, show some of the physicality. It doesn't have to be as aggressive as that, but just sort of like a little bit more of the realness.
Yeah.
The shaky hands, you know, anything to indicate that, yeah, I've experienced this and I'm writing about it.
But I do find, and this is a generalization in itself, and there's definitely a lot of shows that don't do it, but American comedies are usually pretty quick to throw out stereotypical jokes about people.
Yeah.
Like whether it is Mexicans, Canadians.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did it with black people before they got in trouble for it.
Women.
Yeah, women, like Australians. Did I say that last week about the...
Yeah.
Jongo? Like they do
Yeah.
it, like there's always something that's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, but they seem to be the only ones that still continue to think they can get away with it.
Well, they are getting away.
No, they are getting away with it because it's America and it's like they're the ones that make all the media and
Yeah.
all that stuff. They still get away with it, whereas some of those lines were put in Australian TV shows or whatever, they just get dragged through the coals. Well, they wouldn't even make it on there in the first
someone
place.
to be watching it.
Well, that's true too. Or like British shows though.
Yeah.
Like they don't, it's not like they're in, I mean, maybe some do, but like you watch the
more
comedies
subtle.
from over there, but they're not like, you know, making fun of Irish people and...
They make fun of Americans.
Yeah, but that's okay because you can make fun of the top or people that think they're the top. It's punching up.
Yeah, but I feel like Britain thinks they're the top.
No, Britain know they were the top.
Yeah.
Britain know they were the top when they had the empire. Like they know that. Yeah. No, I feel like they're yeah, like with people knocking the States, it's like that's fine. If you're going to sit on the throne or tell the world you're sitting on the throne, you got to be prepared for the, you know. But when you're punching, that's like realistically they shouldn't be able to make comedy because whatever they're doing is punching down. You know, even when they've
Yeah,
got
but
it.
then by that argument, neither should you,
But no, what do you mean?
because you're a straight white guy,
Yeah,
so you shouldn't be allowed to do comedy.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you're at the top.
I know that, like where that sits, but
But I mean, I don't agree with that. I'm just saying that argument doesn't stand.
I would, like, apart from the privileges that being a male
Yeah.
brings to me, like you've had a much more fortunate life than me.
Have I?
I think so.
Why?
Like just based, well, where do you live,
Because
Steph?
you're looking at my view right now.
Where do you live? Who owns this place?
Hey, my mum bought this in the 70s for $60,000. So
Yeah,
don't
wow.
even.
Wow, that's
boomer
impressive.
privilege. That's not money.
No, but you're still privileged by that you're living in it.
Yeah.
Like you have that advantage and your schooling and like where you grew up
I
and
went
all
to
that
state
stuff.
school,
Yeah, but what area, Steph?
Chatswood.
Okay, so in the North Shore.
Yeah.
No, but like, and the class, like part of it, like we're very different, like our backgrounds, and we said this, like
Yeah.
initially, our
Yeah,
backgrounds
yeah.
are very different. And I'm a working class from immigrant parents in a fucking black town.
Yeah.
And you're a North Shore girl.
Yeah. My dad's Chinese.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Neither of my parents were born here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
My
just one
mom's
of
from
those.
Glasgow and my dad is from Hong Kong.
Why don't you talk about this on stage? I just thought you were some fucking rich
I know.
white girl.
Because I look like one.
Why don't you bring that up?
Why do I need to?
Because it's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not just a fucking North Shore girl.
Yeah, I know, but like, you know.
I
Yeah.
still remember once when I was like
People don't
20.
want to hear that. They like to put you in a box. So I'm fine with them putting me in that
They
box.
also like boxes being fucking shattered. Like, do you know how many? Like one time, I still remember this. I walked on. It was at Hi-Fi at Melbourne Comedy Festival, and I had a good gig because, well, it's me, and that was really hard. It was a joke. It was a joke, but I did. Like, I had a really,
killed it.
I had a
Like I
really
always
good
do.
gig, and
Of
I got
course,
up.
I've seen you. You're excellent.
When I was leaving, like someone came up to me and goes, "Can I just say that when you opened your mouth, I thought I would fucking hate you."
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy tickets to your show now.
Oh, wow.
Just because of what they thought I was, because of my voice and the way I sound. And then
Yeah.
what I said, you know, like it kind of flipped their... People don't mind having their expectations flipped. Like I've seen, like some comics have walked on stage, like before I did comedy and I was like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
Because I've just made a snap judgment based on what they look like.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, fuck, they're actually really intelligent and insightful. And what, you know, I don't know. I used to work in this area.
Yeah.
And I still remember we went out after work and I was talking to someone in one of the bars, and as soon as she knew where I was from, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
And she was from this part,
Yeah.
like she was from this side of the bridge.
Yeah, but I've had jobs since I was 14.
Yeah,
I've worked in
yeah.
customer service for 20-something years.
Well, see,
Like,
so this is stuff that's all.
yeah.
Who knows this apart from people that really know you?
Yeah, but it's none of their business.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, look, some people don't like putting stuff out there, and other people are okay. Like I'm happy. I don't care.
But
Like, that
I don't know.
alcohol
Like,
thing or
how do you broach that though? Hey guys, just so you know, I'm not rich. You can't start a conversation
No,
like
you
that.
don't say it. You just like fuck. You don't have to blatantly say it.
I work in childcare. Why would I do that if I didn't have to?
Well, why don't you talk about that? And
I do.
I reckon you should definitely get into the family stuff.
Yeah. Anyway,
So-
shall we wrap it up?
So
What have we got
Your
for
dad's
next?
a Chinese investor then in the 60s.
Huh?
Your dad was a Chinese
My mum
investor.
bought
Oh,
this-
your mum. Sorry, your mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And
My
she's
mum
Scottish.
did that on a teacher's salary. She raised 2 kids on a state school teacher's salary.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you rather be the opposite of the stereotype than the?
I am.
No, but I mean on stage.
Oh.
Like not off stage, off stage, yes, but on stage. I'm not saying you are the stereotype on stage, but
Yeah, I don't talk about where
I
live.
didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think it's funny when people think that I'm a snob and a rich bitch. It doesn't offend me because I don't relate to it.
Yeah, right.
So
Interesting.
I'm not offended. I
Well,
guess
you
the
don't
same
come
way
across
people
like
think
that,
that you're
though.
like bogan, because of your accent.
But then, like when I watch you, like you say those jokes, but you don't have that air about you.
Yeah.
Like it's not there. You
No,
know, like
because I
there
have
are
not. Because I haven't grown up privileged. I've just grown up in an expensive area.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe that's why
Because there's quite a large Chinese population around here.
because there are definitely people that are that on stage, and it really fucking rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I didn't even have anyone in specific in mind. I was just
Well,
like,
I
I know over my career there's
Yeah.
people that are like that. Whereas you, it's never done that. Yeah, right. Interesting. Oh wow, we've gone longer than last week. I mean, there was a slight detour in there with my little stint into alcoholism.
But very interesting.
Oh, hopefully.
Should we say what the shows are for?
Yeah, so I
Next
guess
week?
we'll just get on to the wrap up and thank everyone for listening to episode 2.
Yep. Getting deeper in.
So yeah, obviously the socials are there. Stream_roulette_pod on Instagram. Stream Roulette Podcast on Facebook. Stream_roulette on Twitter.
Yep.
And we will be back next week with what have we got? What shows have we got next week?
We got In From the Cold.
Yeah.
Sweet Magnolias,
Yeah.
and The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window.
No, I know nothing about
I know
any of these
Nothing
shows.
about any of those either, but
Okay.
I'm worried.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know. The name seems very long.
Well, that one, I mentioned that to someone yesterday in the park when I was walking the dog, and they said that's actually like a parody of those kind of shows.
Ugh.
You know how there's like a woman in the window and the man across the street and all those?
Yeah.
Or like it's
Okay, so it's like a comedy.
yeah. It's not like a... Let's just see how we got. Hey,
I already know I'm going to hate it.
you can't...
Yeah.
You got to sacrifice a little bit to get... Sometimes you have to do things you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
Through pain comes great art.
Yeah.
So this will be a great
That's what we're doing.
great art podcast.
It's art.
Well, anyway, thank you for listening to the second episode.
Yes.
We hope have you enjoyed it. And we'll be back next week, the same time.
Yep.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Bye.